Hi, everyone. I'm Maria Paula. I'm Director of Growth at Avara, former founder, and I'm doing this talk scared as, yeah. I'm going to be talking about freedom to transact, and I'm going to explain you what actually it means for me. It's a term that's associated to libertarian ideology, but I don't think about that at all. I actually think it's deeper, and it's tied more to our human rights. Yeah, I'm going to be telling it through my personal story, which is also a little bit scary, but I think hopefully this is going to resonate with all of you. I think, and I really believe, and I'm a testament of it, that DeFi and crypto as a whole are very important for upward social mobility and for emerging economies. And I should know a thing or two about that, because I was born in 1986 in Argentina, in an Argentina rife with hyperinflation. My parents told me that when I was a baby, my diapers would cost one thing in the morning, and then throughout the day it would go like 10x or something. We have been living in a completely destabilized country for as long as I can remember. In 2001, I was 15 years old, and President Fernando de la Rúa imposed an ATM withdrawal of 250 pesos per week. The country was in a drawn-out recession since 1908, and the government tried to stop a bank run. So yeah, my parents' savings, as all of the savings in Argentina, got locked up. The peso had been artificially pegged to the dollar for a very long time, and the state had been selling every piece of public infrastructure to hold that peg. Trains, the gas company, water, suppliers, everything. The peso depegged, of course, naturally, and everyone's savings got decimated. People took the streets. There were curfews. People rioted and robbed supermarkets. So, businesses went bankrupt. Sick people couldn't buy medicines, and some of them died. So, yeah, it was a really, really dark time. In 2012, I was much older, but the thing weren't getting any much better. This is a little bit tough for me to say because it brings up a lot of memories. Yeah, so thank you. In 2012, I was much older. Things weren't getting any better. And the president of Argentina at that time, Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, who then got indicted because of corruption, decided to put a ban to the purchase of foreign currency. In Argentina, we don't trust our national currency. We save in dollars. So this was a really big deal. For the second time in my life, I saw my freedom to transact being thwarted by a government policy, and I just left, and I never looked back. These things obviously don't only happen in Argentina. Governments, financial agencies, corporations, and the financial system worldwide, they all have abused citizens and control our economic destiny and have abused our data. So this is where we come. This word cover is, this word cover, clicker, sorry. Yeah, this wired cover is from 1991. Back then, the internet was an information superhighway. Everything was quite naive, but people were becoming very privacy conscious. This was because for as long as there have been computers, and even from the mainframe huge computers, computer-aided surveillance was already a part of most police forces for a very long time. In 2018, when the financial crisis happened, we understood the level of abuse that traditional finance had been constructing through subprime mortgages, excessive risk-taking, and a buildup of toxic assets, combined with the burst of a housing bubble in the US that spun the world into a new Great Recession. That's when the Occupy Wall Street movement was founded, and that's when Bitcoin came about. A P2P payment system validated by nodes distributed around the world, unstoppable and transparent, impossible by virtue of the code to be tampered with. In 2012, another awakening happened. The Snowden revelations told us that corporations were selling our social media and other data for surveillance purposes. The cypherpunks have always been right. And Ethereum and Web3 were then born as a response to all of the aforementioned. Freedom to transact, as I said before, should not be a political term tied to any ideology. It's tied to free movement. I don't know if you've been following, but some Palestinian refugees have been relying on crypto to actually cross the border, because you need to pay to cross the border. You need to pay for paperwork, you need to pay for smugglers, and for all of that you need money. Palestine is actually a sanctioned country, so they can't get money out of the bank. It's not that easy. So freedom to transact is basically tied to survival in this sense. It's not only about institutional abuse in emerging economies, of course. Now I live in Germany. I live in a first world country, they call it. And the economy of the welfare state in Germany is declining. The median German household is just 106,000 of net assets, far below the Euro median. Why? Most Germans don't own their own homes, and only 1 in 6 invest in the stock market. Income taxes are very, very high as well. Economic precarity makes Germans susceptible to fringe arguments as well, so it's really dangerous. There's also a lot of protections from the state that prevent you from taking debt, even so you can't really assess your own risk. It's quite a complicated and constraining situation that constrains your mind, and it just doesn't let you imagine what would be possible if you were able to afford or take risk or invest or any of the things that we in DeFi take for granted. It's 2024, and the same banks that led us to world financial ruin, they're telling us who gets to access a loan and who doesn't. Loans are key to social mobility. You can't move upwards throughout generations if you don't have access to loans. Saving bit by bit doesn't make it. So people rely a lot on informal loans. Those are loans that are done, in just like dodgy little shops, or maybe person. This is this is really, really dangerous and introduces organized crimes a lot of times. And banks do whatever the hell they want. Some of you might be lucky enough to never have needed to ask for a mortgage. I've been living in Germany for 11 years. I pay 42% of taxes. I have always had stable jobs. I got lucky enough that I became a founder as well. This is all to say that I have been financially stable for at least 10 years in the country. Yet when I wanted to buy an apartment, I was denied of a mortgage 5 times, and after really, really tough processes with stacks of paper like this. A financial advisor told me actually to completely forget about it, and that my savings didn't count, and my years of paying taxes also didn't count. Crypto jobs prevented me, in theory, of accessing a mortgage, which is a form of low collateralized loan, key to social mobility. The only option for me here were riskier loans adapted to my high-risk profile. So boring. I don't know what part of me is high risk, honestly. I don't even know how to drive. So with DeFi, we can go from these to these. That's Aave. No, just a note here, these are not my personal loans. I do not. These have been supplied by the company, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I don't have an open position now at Aave, but we just made that happen. Thank you, Aave Marketing. So I've been using Aave, and other DeFi platforms for as long as they have existed, actually. My bank loan might have gone in decline in 2022, but way before then, I was already big into borrowing, staking, liquidity mining, investing, absolutely all in crypto. Regardless of what bank told me, in 2022, I became a homeowner thanks to everything that crypto facilitated for me. It wasn't great to spend a lot of money to buy my own apartment, but relying entirely on crypto to achieve my dream of owning a beautiful home is pretty badass. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, within crypto and Aave, no one knows who I am. I don't need to pay taxes to Vitalik. I don't need to pay taxes to Aave. I don't need to prove my income, and nobody judges my ability and future prospects of repaying my loans. I am one more 0x. I don't need anyone. I don't know anyone that I'm borrowing money from or who I'm lending money to. We're all protected and guaranteed by smart contracts that run the show. And I feel protected. I have all the freedom to transact I want. I am able to assess my own risk and operate according to my own judgment, same as everybody else in the protocol, actually. And this is just getting better. So Aave is already amazing, as you have seen before, but it's going to get better. We have bigger plans that will benefit users at a bigger scale, integrators, and the DeFi space as a whole. Currently, while Aave v3 continues to work without a hitch, improving the lives of lots of people like me, and luring institutions actually into DeFi due to its robustness, our team is building Aave v4 with a modular architecture and a unified liquidity layer across a wide range of assets. I'd like to finish this presentation and then give you a Aave code. So watch this space. With a quote by Jaya Clara Brekke, she's one of my favorite researchers, about the hacker engineers that build this space. I choose to use my personal story for this presentation because I thought it would resonate more with the SheFi audience and not make anyone feel alienated with technical terms and lots of infographics. At the end of the day, it's about people that want change, that know that we collectively can do better, build better, and rely on better financial instruments. And we look after these technologies all together. We're all a bit like hacker engineers, like Jaya mentions here, and responsible for change, even if we don't know how to code or know basic maths. Every time you choose crypto, you choose to grow in your own terms, and that's a fact. Yet in a community we're alongside others that think the same. And now, wait, did it work? Oh, wait. We have a technical thing. Okay, the Aave code is Ronnie loves freedom to transact. Thank you everyone so much. So good. It's only for men.
All the women get a bracelet.
Yes.
So at lunch, go to the Aave table if you are a woman and you get a bracelet.
And
so don't worry about the code.
Yeah, and all the men, right? Ronnie loves freedom to transact. Ronnie with a double N. All right, thank you.